Taranda versus Jaina.
Hey folks, it's Kikoskia here with some more Hearthstone, and it's time for Priest, specifically a tier 1 meta deck in Priest. What? Don't believe me? It's true! This is Combo Priest, a deck that I inadvertently pulled most of the pieces for from packs that I opened at the start of the expansion and as it's been going on. We have Northshire Cleric on turn 1, which is a good start because we want to draw a lot of cards. And we have High Priest Armet here, which is also good because we want our minions to be very high health.
Blessings.
Greetings! How are you?
Hello.
I hope you're well. Are you going to do anything? What you don't want to do is hit my Northshire Cleric. And I have 2 of them. Best to save the second one, just in case we need it. We've had no opportunity to draw cards yet, and we've had no opportunity to really buff the attack of my minions, because that is my general game plan. I want to seriously buff the health of my minions, and then use Inner Fire to make one really big, high, oh, there's a Frostbolt, high attack minion that will then go face. That was the first one taken care of. But can you deal with the second? That's a question that I've just asked you. Next turn we'll probably High Priest Armet. And then we could extra arms High Priest Armet, which then means that it has 9 health. And then every minion that I play afterwards... Is that a, that's a fireball aimed at the Wild Pyromancer. You probably wanted to save that for High Priest Armet. That minion is quite sticky with 7 health. 2 attack means that it's quite vulnerable to quite a lot of removal, especially priest removal. Shadow Word Pain is a very efficient removal tool. There is a Razor Fen Hunter. Now it is time to start making some big minions. First, we are going to extra arms. And get more arms. Then we are going to injure Tol'vir. That sets the Tol'vir's health at 9. Then the Tol'vir takes 3 damage.
Right away.
We're then going to do this. And then we're going to hit face. What we want to do is focus a lot of damage towards the face. We don't care about the opponent's minions. They'll do the trading for us. And this 2/6 is a really hefty roadblock, and if I get Circle of Healing, I can draw a lot of cards. That is a Frostbolt there. And a trade. And then the hero power to get rid of the injured Tol'vir. Now what I want to do, is make a giant minion. That's what I want to do. So, if I give the minion +2/+2, that becomes an 11 health minion, then it becomes, well, that's it. Well played. 22-6. 22-22. No hope indeed. Well played. Divine Spirit Inner Fire has been a thing that's sort of hung around the peripheral of deck building for a very long time, ever since beta of Hearthstone. But now with Armet and with Psychopomp, it has come to the fore as a very powerful deck. Let's see if we can get another win. There are decks that can beat the deck I'm playing right now. You need to be able to get the board and hold it.
Taranda versus Malfurion.
Druid could potentially do that.
My dear Malfurion.
We have card draw here. We have even more card draw. What we really want is to have a Northshire Cleric if possible. We don't want that, and we really don't want that right now. We want that Northshire. We have Topsy Turvy, which does give us some damage, but no Northshire Cleric. We do have a 2/6 that will become a 2/3 when it's played, and predictably our opponent is playing the quest, but doesn't have the coin. So what we're going to do is coin out the injured Tol'vir. We want to create a board presence very quickly and start hitting the face. My opponent isn't going to want to play anything, and that's to my benefit.
I'll take you with me.
Will you? Let's see if that happens. Now my opponent effectively has 2 mana, unless they want to spend all 3 and not progress the quest, and there is a Doomsayer. We have a way to counter that. It's called Topsy-Turvy.
I knew it.
Now it's a 7-0, and 7-0s don't really do anything in this game. Now what I want to do is, I could heal this and then inner fire to make a 7-7. And actually, that's a pretty good plan. That's a very good plan, or a 6-6 rather. I could Power Word Shield and wait a turn. I'm actually going to Power Word Shield and wait a turn. And get a Psycho Pomp. So, just in case the Tol'vir is killed, I can then bring the Tol'vir back with Reborn, which makes it a really sticky minion.
Rage. It claims me.
That is a taunt to get in the way, and that's fine.
I see a dark future.
Armet. And I'm not going to attack. I'm going to wait for you to attack. Next turn, I could Psycho Pomp and Inner Fire if my Tol'vir dies. That's not going to kill Armat. You going to attack? No, you are going to wait and get the quest completed. And now, I'm going to start making a big minion. First, we are going to heal here. Then, we are going to Power Word Shield. I'm going to save that for later, and then
I'll take you with
hit you there for a lot. Now, my opponent's probably going to want to use a lot of their resources to get rid of this minion. There are those resources. Kapow! Kapow! And then,
will rise against
my opponent is quite angry. And then, I Psycho Pomp.
the end.
That becomes a 7 health minion. That becomes a 7 health minion.
No hope now.
My board is back. And now my opponent has to get through this minion again. And that's a Starfall to desperately get rid of Armet. Armet will go. There is a 50-50 chance that I will bring Armet back with the Psycho Pomp. Do we go for it?
The end begins. I see.
Yes, we do go for it. And then we play an Acolyte of Pain. That becomes a 7 health Acolyte of Pain.
It is your time.
Even against the choose one cards doing both things that Druid now currently has with the quest,
The Earth Mother was busy.
this is a big, big board. And it's about to become an unassailable one. For
Well played.
we have lethal. We double this minion's health. We then make it a 14 attack minion.
It is your
And Armet again secures the win. It's a very simple deck to pilot in that you are focusing on just making one big minion that deals a lot of damage. And I do have Silence in the deck. I have 2 copies of the Silence card specifically to get past opponent's taunts if I need to. So far, this deck is doing pretty well, but it can hit stumbling blocks, as I said. The most significant one being that you're not
Randa versus Valera.
focused on the objective of the deck, which is to make a big minion and to keep the board. You have to fight for the board. With that in mind, we need a Wild Pyromancer. This is not great. We don't have any minions apart from the Wild Pyromancer. Inner Fire and Divine Spirit are nice, but don't really mesh with the Wild Pyromancer's ability to deal damage to all minions. We're going to need something. Quite desperately. When this deck runs dry, it runs really dry. Some people play want somebody to get card draw for the 1-cost minions, and there are quite a lot of 1-cost minions in the deck. There is Armet at least.
Blessings to you.
But I don't have that card, so instead I got a second Silence. South Sea Deckhand. This is a very aggressive deck. I do not want to play this right now because it will die on board. I actually just want to play this. I want to contest that minion being there. As long as that minion's there, I can't do much. Backstab? Coin. SI7?
This guy's toast.
Yes. That's a problem. I'm facing a deck that is aggressively fighting for the board, and I can't really play this without it dying. But I need to play something. So the Injured Blade Master goes down. Next turn I can arm it, and at least this gets rid of the 3-3, provided of course that my opponent actually uses the 3-3. Could use the hero power and the 2-1. More likely. But either way, Armet is likely to stick on the board with this 4-3 in the way to distract from my next play. There is a Pharaoh Cat, add a random reborn minion to your hand. That could be a pretty good minion. And you're going to trade like that. That's fine. And what do we get now? An Acolyte of Pain. I'm actually going to wait. One turn. We have the time. The Acolyte of Pain will give me more cards. And then I could Armet Northshire Cleric. That'd be a pretty good turn. Hooked Scimitar. Oh dear. That's not great. We're going to have to do something pretty quickly. Psychopomp. I have a plan. We arm it, and then we beaming sidekick.
I got you, friend.
Or we Armet and Northshire Cleric. We Armet and Northshire Cleric.
Is someone
The +2 health is good, but having the 1-7 is really nice. And adding the Northshire Cleric to the Psychopomp Resurrection pool is also pretty nice. This is 14 health.
Blood and plunder.
My opponent doesn't seem that bothered about getting rid of everything, just wants to get rid of the Armet. And go face. That's a lot of damage. Neverset Ritualist that will restore adjacent minions to full health. First, let's see what happens.
The end begins. I see a
There's Armet again! Oh, very nice. I feel like I could Neverset Ritualist to get a card, or I could just Inner Fire to get a 7-7.
right away?
That seems like a good plan. And then
Hey!
beaming
friend.
sidekick this minion that becomes a 1-7 to get a 7-6. Meaning that my opponent doesn't have the damage on the board to kill it. There are actually quite a few targets here that my opponent wants to get rid of. A 2-7 is a very large target. The reborn animation makes it even more so. Waggle Pick! What minion are you going for? That is a question.
Army needs 5 more.
It doesn't seem like you're going for any of the minions. You're just going face. That's a danger. That's a definite danger. Ooh, silence. Can I survive on the board? Maybe.
It is your time.
We get rid of this minion.
It's going to be okay.
Then we trade into this minion. Then we trade. Now that will give random friendly minions +1/+1. So
Right away.
we get rid of this minion. Then we silence this minion. Then we Neverset Ritualist to draw 2 cards. Wild Pyromancer. Topsy-turvy. Don't want to play any of them right now. Do want to heal. Maybe I should Divine Spirit something. No, we'll save that. We'll save that. My opponent has 6 damage. Anything will kill me. An SI7 agent? Deadly Poison. That'll do it too. My opponent was able to keep the board and hold it. And go for face. That is what you should do against this deck. Fight aggressively for board. I tried my best to do that myself, but ultimately, my opponent just kept it, and I lost. This deck is not unbeatable. If the deck were unbeatable, that would be a serious problem. It's strong, but not that strong. Let's go for one more, shall we?
Tyrande versus Anduin.
And it may be a mirror match.
Shall bring victory.
Illusion give me strength.
What have we got? Silence might actually be quite useful in a mirror match. I think I want to get rid of everything but the silence and look for Northshire. That's not Northshire, but that is Power Word Shield. Power Word Shield may be useful. I have the coin, that's quite useful.
Blessings to you.
Greetings! How goes it? Are you well? I hope so. Injured Tolvir on 2. Or injured Tolvir on 1. Injured Tolvir on 1, I think.
More left in me.
Get the board, keep the board. We can heal or Power Word Shield as we wish. Lightwell! Well, get it? It's a Lightwell. Never mind. Ooh, that's pretty good. I want rid of this. I know what you're going to do with that.
Right.
You're going to sneakily double its health and then make it extremely powerful. You're doing what I'm trying to do. But you're doing it with a Lightwell. I have the board. Topsy-turvy to make that a 6-2. Holy Smite to get rid of it. That'll do it. That will do it. Injured Blade Master. That's fine. I can slowly heal it up. I have a little bit of card draw in my Power Word Shield. What I really want right now is a Northshire. Or an Acolyte of Pain. Acolyte of Pain would do nicely as well. And even though Priest currently has a card to deal with a 4-attack minion, it's still a little difficult for them to do so. Inner Fire. Don't want to play that right now. I do, however, want to Power Word Shield that. Ooh. Going to not play that right now. I'm going to save the Northshire Cleric until I can heal on the same turn. I can make this into a 9/9 minion. All depends on what my opponent chooses to do. I do need to be mindful that my opponent is not playing a traditional deck in the sense that it has Smite. Holy Smite is a very odd card for that kind of deck. You're just going to heal yourself? That is fine. I'm going to start drawing cards.
Is someone injured?
Now it's a 4/9.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Now it's 4/11. Now it's got 11s across the board. Kapow! You're at 13. Even if you kill it, I've got a nice strong board here in the Northshire, the Nephicet, and the Beaming Sidekick. There's the death. I got my damage in though. And there is a heal. I think it's Armet time. We're going to play a 1-drop, are you? I wouldn't recommend that considering I have a Northshire on the board. If you're thinking about it, you've got plenty of time. Always take your time to think your options through. You've got more than you think, and at the same time, less than you think. Unless Nosdormu's on the board, in which case you have no time at all, and you need to make your plays immediately. It's my turn. Okay,
I see a dark future.
let's go.
You're the dead.
I'm going to
Right away.
not
It's gonna be
play
okay.
Divine Spirit right now. My opponent is looking at Armet, because I can't do anything with the Divine Spirit at present. I need to hold on to my hold on to my essential combo pieces. Psycho Pump. Silencing this is a good idea. That's not silence. Ooh. Good time now to do this. And get some healing done. Let's heal up Armet. And get a Ritualist, which we can then use
Life
to draw
is a
more cards. The Ritualist is also a... Ooh! That's a good card to see. I'm not going to play it right now, but it's still a good card to see. Actually, I could play it right now, but then I'd lose quite a few minions, so
joy. The
I'm just
dead.
going to go
Okay.
No hope
face.
Right away.
You're at 5. I have a pretty hefty board. I was tempted to Circle of Healing, draw 2 cards. But I don't need those cards right now. I have 2 Psycho Pumps just in case any of my minions die. There are ways to clear this board. Lesser Heal to draw me a card. There's an extra arms. Divine Spirit. Now it's a 4/10. Now it's a 4/20. Now it is a 20/20. And it hits me in the face for 20. But that's not enough.
Well played.
I had a feeling when I saw the light well that was what you were trying to do. And I quashed that immediately, thus keeping the board. And that's what I needed to do. And that secured me the win. And so, that is a selection of matches with a Tier 1 meta deck. I can sometimes create them, sometimes the things that I pull out of packs align in such a way that it is possible, and this is a really cheap deck compared to many other powerful decks. I'll show you. If we go all the way down here, there is one legendary, and that is Armet. Psycho Pump, I had to craft one of them, is a epic. Then you've got rares from the classic set, that's a rare. Commons here, more commons, that's a basic card, and a basic card. So really, the only expensive cards are Armet, the Psycho Pump, and extra arms and the Injured Blade Master, as well as the Wild Pyromancer. Not expensive at all. Couple of thousand dust will get you this. You can't, of course, guarantee that the deck will remain this powerful. The deck is only 1 or 2 nerfs away from being reduced in might significantly, and there's always the risk that something will get put into the Hall of Fame. But, for now, it's extremely powerful. And I don't mind playing decks that are extremely powerful if they're fun to play, and that deck is very fun to play. Making one massive minion is always fun, and then it gets silenced. But if you're playing the deck correctly, you can then just make another board. The Rogue just was really aggressive when I played against them, and there's not much I could do against that kind of aggression. But every other match went very well indeed. And that's why this deck is pretty powerful. It can reliably draw strong things. And so, when we come back, folks, more Hearthstone! And I promise it won't be any high-tier meta decks, because that's the only one I can make. I'd have to put a lot of arcane dust into making other ones, and to be frank, I don't really like the look of any of the others. Will it be the Tavern Brawl? Will it be something else completely? Who can say? All I can say is, I'll have fun doing so, and there won't be as much healing. Or will there? And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.